Mike Drop Sports. I'm Jason. This is our live Monday episode, and I appreciate y'all for stopping through. Put in the chat anything you guys want to talk about. We'll get started with some Steelers news. We'll talk about some of the center stuff going on, maybe a little bit of quarterback talk, whatever else you guys want to talk about today here on Mike Drop Sports. Again, I appreciate it that you're here to join us, and hopefully it'll be a good show, a long show full of good chats, good excitement, and talking a little Steelers and NFL football. Welcome, everybody. What's up, Sean? Maybe if he watches Mason for a few years. Oh, you're talking about Kenny, Robert? Yeah, I agree, no doubt. I don't think he can improve. I just thought it was a good thumbnail. That's all, because I thought it was a cool picture of Kenny in that uniform. It was a little different, so I thought it was a cool uniform, and I thought it'd be a cool thumbnail. What's up, D? All right, guys, we're just going to get started here. We'll start off with some Steelers news. Some players that they have signed. One being Moon, Jeremiah Moon, former ex-Raven. They have officially signed him to a contract for the 2024 season, according to the NFL Players Association salary report. And, NFLPA salary report, which is the NFL Players Association. What's up, 24K? Yeah, we do want Mason, no doubt, man. For sure. I agree. I think a lot of the fan base does want Mason, and then you have that section of the fan base that really wants Kenny Pickett to see if he can succeed. What's up, JD? Yeah, but busy day, guys. Been busting my hump all day, getting shit done, getting things finished up ahead of the show. Did 2 episodes today also. Ran the kids everywhere, so it has been an exciting, long day. Haven't had a minute to breathe here, but here we are. We are ready to rock and roll. Got some regulars in the house, and I appreciate you guys for stopping through so much. But again, guys, they do sign officially Jeremiah Moon. He's going to be on a $915,000 contract. And the team did make this official again through the NFLPA salary report. So this is an official signing, and they are allowed to sign guys that they've gotten off of waivers. And he was signed to a futures contract in 2023 with the Ravens. Ended up playing some, a little bit here and there. He's 6'5", 250 pounds. He's from Hoover, Alabama, from the famed high school that was on TV. The Hoover Bucks, I believe they were called, but they had that reality TV show with that coach that ended up getting in a lot of trouble. He was one of the most winningest coaches in Alabama state history. Really a top shelf coach, but a real asshole. Bad family guy. A lot of things came out about him. He ended up getting cancer, which really sucks, and I feel bad for him. He did end up beating it, but he, looked really bad. Ended up going and coaching for another team, I believe, in Alabama. So that's where he comes from. Also, the Pittsburgh Steelers signed Dylan Cook, a guy that they had control of. He's making roughly about 980-some thousand. You're looking at now these players that are coming in. It's going to be about that base salary, guys. You're going to be looking at about $1 million. All these guys, 900 and some thousand. That's going to be like the new thing, Pickens went to Hoover too. I didn't know that, Robert. Good info, man. Thank you. I didn't know that. So yeah, a lot of players come from Hoover High School, man, for sure. 24K, if anyone is interested, there's a new podcast out called The Raven. It's the story of Ray Lewis and how he got charged for the murder right after the Super Bowl. It looks like it's going to be good. Thank you, 24K. I definitely will check that out. I'm always interested about that story, and I really wonder what happened that night. Ray Lewis was acquitted of all charges, I believe. So, the wheels of justice spun, and that's the way it goes. So, hard to tell. But again, guys, the Steelers do make those moves. They are able to sign some of these guys to contracts, and makes for an exciting little period here while they pick these types of guys up. Anything you guys want to talk about, make sure you put it in the comments. Make sure you hit that like button for us here at Mike Drop Sports. Tonight, we're aiming to gain 59 subscribers, roughly right around there, 58 or 59. That will get us to the milestone that I had set for myself. And us here at the channel, and that is 2,000 subscribers officially, and that will be pretty damn cool to hit that goal tonight, and I think we can definitely do it. Tiffany Donnelly, are you mad about TJ Watt did not win the defensive award? I'm not mad about it. I think it is a real slap in the face to a guy that means so much to a football team, a guy that is the best in the business at what he does, over a Pro Football Focus stat that absolutely means nothing. Losing it to a guy that Nick Herbig, a guy that barely played, had more sacks than in the final 7 games of the season. I just can't get on board with Myles Garrett as that defensive player of the year. It just didn't really sit well with me. I thought there was other deserving candidates, not only just TJ. I thought there was other guys in the league that played a lot better than Myles Garrett. So it isn't just even a TJ thing. And I'm not sure what you have to do to win that award. I really am not sure. Oh, excuse me, guys. D, did you get to the part of that Mason interview where he said he thinks Myles Garrett was part of the reason he was benched? Yeah, I did, D. I found that interesting, that video to be interesting. One, because of my faith in my Lord and Savior. That's my thing. So I did find it interesting in that way. I also found it interesting in some of the things that he revealed. And I believe that Mason does truly believe that he was benched because of that Myles Garrett incident, and that it had a significant role in his benching in the 2019 season when he was smashed in the face by that helmet. Another interesting fact was Mason could have really filed criminal charges against him for that. That would have been assault with a weapon, and that could have faced actually some jail time if you really think about it. But Mason's a stand-up dude. I don't think he ever did any of the things that Myles said. He was backed by his teammates, and I think Mason really truly believes that that was part of the reason that his career got derailed a little bit. I don't think he feels like it was the sole reason, but I think he feels like that it played a part for sure. So yeah, I found that very interesting, and I found the D, and I'm gonna try to post a link to it. It is on a channel that only has like 24 subscribers. It's a really small new channel to YouTube, and for some reason it keeps getting kicked out when D tries to put it in the chat. So we're gonna try to figure out how to get that for you guys to listen to. If you are a religious type person, I think you would really find the interview really informative, especially about Mason and his self and his ability to be a man of faith inside of the NFL and what he has went throughout his NFL career. I thought it was pretty good. Beer Malls, what's up? 24K. I'm going to check out. Yeah, I'm going to check that out too. That guy that did the interview with Mason does a lot of other good interviews on his podcast of other athletes that are Christians. Definitely check it out. Yeah, I definitely started digging into his stuff. And I'm surprised that he only had 24 subs. That was weird. We'll put all those links in there. Guys, we need to, I'm going to set up a place for you guys to be able to direct message me in a way that isn't like my email and things like that, because I don't keep track of that email or anything like that, the one that I would give out to the masses. But I'm going to find a way for you guys to be able to direct message me and also be able to send in comments and questions and things like that. And we'll have like an answer and talk like period on these shows with those questions that are pre-sent in. And I'll read through them and we'll go through maybe even like some voicemail stuff to where you can leave your question on there. I'll play it on the show. People could hear your voice. You could ask the question. Maybe we'll do that kind of stuff, because I've never been able to figure out how to get live callers on the show without having to pay for it, and we aren't to that level yet. So we will get there, but I haven't been able to figure it out yet. Yeah, we're going to definitely do some links, though, guys. But you guys let me know what you think about the couple signings that the Pittsburgh Steelers have made. Earlier, we had talked about some center stuff with the Pittsburgh Steelers and what they're going to have to do at that center position now without Mason Cole, which is a good thing, where they're going to turn inside of this draft, guys. And when we were talking about the combine and things of that nature coming up, we'll touch on that a little bit. But I wanted to start out the show really with that center stuff, because it's going to be tough for the Pittsburgh Steelers to get Jackson Powers Johnson, guys. There are 3 teams ahead of them that are needy teams for center. One being the Chargers at 5, which we know that they are not going to pick a center at 5. That's going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. At that spot, at least what I think. and several other mocks. I've picked that to the Chargers, pick that guy to the Chargers. But there are going to be the Seahawks, and then you're going to have the Jacksonville Jaguars, 16 and 17. If you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're going to need to get up to about the 15 range, and that might not even guarantee you Jackson Powers Johnson. And I'm not sure that you give up that draft capital because I think there are other options. Now, if you can get it for a relatively decent deal, and that is your best player available on the draft board at the time, and you want to go get him, go get him. I think it makes sense if the compensation works out correct. You have pick 119, you have pick 120. I think if you put those picks together, you could figure out a way to maybe trade up, using one of those picks. I'm not saying both of them. Let's keep going here. If that quote about Myles Garrett hits the MSM, it will blow up. I wonder if you could turn bringing that story to the public, into the viewership. I can definitely, I'm going to have to re-listen to it several times, though, before I do any content on it, because I just really want to get all the news and notes from it really wholeheartedly. Like I said, today was a super busy day, so I listened to it twice, but it was, you know how it goes when you're doing other things. You don't get the whole thing. I'm going to really have to sit down, listen to it, take some notes from it, and really know what was going on 1,000% if I'm going to quote anybody or anything like that. So definitely we can do that, D. That's a definite good idea. You guys always have some good ideas for content. I've taken many ideas from people that are commenters and made it into actual shows. So definitely, you guys definitely keep those comments coming. Definitely keep those thoughts coming. I appreciate them so much. And sometimes they do end up being shows for sure. Blue light switch. What is your opinion on Myles Garrett winning the D point instead of TJ? We were just talking about that blue light. Horrible. It's horrible. I'm not sure what TJ has to do. And there were other guys other than TJ that were more deserving than Myles Garrett. Again, I think Myles Garrett isn't the best of dudes. After hearing things over the years, clean from 2019, hearing the things that he's just not a decent guy in my eyes to start with. And then you look at how his performance wasn't as good as some of the other guys. I can't get on board with him winning that award just because he was due to win it or overdue to win it. You still have to perform to the level of the Defensive Player of the Year, period. Beer Malls, I hate to bring it up. I watched Strackbine, All Steelers Talk. He's in the Steelers media. Granted, he claims going to make moves on Fields, like how Khan is going to meet with him. I don't know, bro. Yeah, I saw that, and I don't like to comment on what other guys, other podcasters do, because I never want to take them out of context, and I never want to shed bad light on them or anything. I'm not that type of dude. But I will say I disagree with him here. I don't think it's going to happen, guys. I think it's a very far-fetched thing. I think that what the news that had come out, and I know he's probably more connected than I can ever be right now, but I think there's several outlets that have reported it's more toward like the Raiders and the Falcons right now. And if you know Steelers history really well, and you really look at this team throughout the past, you're going to notice that this team doesn't operate that way. And they've never really done that. And I can't see them starting now. But Beer Malls, he may be right. I don't know. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not going to knock him. I think Noah's a cool dude. So I don't want to bash what he's doing there, because I think he runs a very good channel. I think he puts a lot of time and effort into his content. Sometimes I think he's a little out on left field with some of his things that he says. But it is what it is. I think we all do that at times. So I don't think it will happen. I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to just break trends all of a sudden now here in 2024 to go after a guy like Justin Fields, a guy that's not really proven that he can be that guy or is worth that breaking of a trend for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they are still under the ownership of the Rooneys, the Rooney family, and that is what they do business off of, in my eyes. I may be wrong. Scar Arca, Rams versus Steelers next Super Bowl. That'd be a cool one. Hey, I'm down. 24K Lightning, Beer Malls, no way the Steelers are going to take Fields. They will take Russell Wilson before they take Fields. I don't even know if that one will happen, 24K, just because I think I did listen to something, and they were talking about Russell Wilson's salary after you would get him for this really cheap deal. You know what I mean? Here on this season, where the Denver Broncos would be footing that bill. After that, you're going to have a guy with a monster inflated salary, and the Steelers would have to figure out what to do with that salary. And even if they cut him, you see what happens with this dead money now. It would probably be a big issue down the road. You know what I mean? So I'm not 1,000% sure that would even work. At least in my eyes, I don't think it would work past 1 year. I think it would become an instant issue. You know what I mean? But you could be right. They could take him instead. There are several options out there. It is going to be a wild carousel to really watch it spin around and see what the Pittsburgh Steelers actually do here. And breaking trends is one of those things that I don't see happening, but you never know. Stranger shit has happened. All right, guys, put it in the comments, anything you guys want to talk about. I wanted to talk about what I just mentioned there, the salary cap. And that was the increase by the NFL of $30 million, bringing the Steelers cap number to about $257 million. Now, there's going to be, I think some people may be confused slightly on this. I think they thought whenever that $30 million increase happened, that it was just an immediate $30 million to the good. And the Pittsburgh Steelers would now all of a sudden be $37 million over the cap because they were about $7 million whenever that happened, which isn't the case. The Steelers have liabilities of about $249 million almost. It's like $248 million and some change. So that is the problem. When the salary cap is now, $257 million, the Steelers still have those liabilities of $249 million roughly. So that means the Steelers now sit about $9 million over the cap, or under the cap currently, right now, with that increase. It didn't increase it up to 30-some million dollars instantly. Now, the Steelers do have available restructures and things of that nature. You're going to see players from Alex Highsmith clean up to TJ Watt, take restructures, extensions, reworkings of their deals in order for the Pittsburgh Steelers to get farther under that cap number. And I still project the Pittsburgh Steelers to be roughly in that $40 to $50 million area. I really think that they're going to be able to get there, and we'll see how they do that, because you are still going to have some releases of players, and you may even see more this week. I really think we should really pay attention. You'll probably see some more. But guys like Allen Robinson that get you 10 instantly. But we all have to remember, too, when these releases are done, sometimes you get an accruement of dead cap money, and that's where the Steelers build up those liabilities in the $240-some million mark, and that's why the cap space isn't as big. But I wanted to be clear about that so we all knew exactly what was going on in that realm of draft capital, or draft or salary cap, and how they're going to have to allocate their money heading into free agency. D said, someone posted in a comment that Arthur Smith tweeted about wanting to pick up Mason before he took the OC job at the Steelers. I'm not on Twitter, so I couldn't verify. I've never seen that comment, D. I am on Twitter. I don't get on it often. But I've never seen that one. I've never even seen it floating around. So it could be and it couldn't be. I have no clue about that one. But guys, let me get a quick drink. Don't forget to hit the like button. Also, please subscribe to the channel. We are trying to hit that goal of 2,000 tonight, and that is going to be a pretty big deal for us here. So let's hit that up. All right, guys. Now that I got a little bit of a drink. Again, let's get back to some of this center talk. What we were talking about was there are 3 teams that are center needy above the Steelers. There's some teams that are center needy after the Steelers. And what I projected earlier is I think the Steelers could possibly move up potentially in round 2. I think that would be their best bet to get a guy like Zach Frazier. But you're looking at some of these guys, some of these guys are projecting now that all 3 of the real good centers will be gone before the mid-second round. So if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers and you're really wanting a center, you're going to have to really gauge how desperate you are, because when you go to trade with one of these teams, they're going to know what you're going up to do. And damn, they're going to charge you. You know what I mean? So when your back is against the wall, people typically take advantage of that. So I want to know what you guys think about that center situation and where they're going to move. Fuzzy poses the question of quarterback. Quarterback, I think they need to pursue Mason Rudolph in free agency. They're going to have the available resources in terms of money to be able to sign him. Many think he'll be over $10 million, that he's worth over $10 million a year. I seem to think that he'll make under $10 million. That's just my guess. I think he'll be about the $7 million mark, $6 million mark, but hey, I could be wrong. But we'll see. Many say that he should make as much as Mitch, and that's all well and good. That's cool. And if he does, cool, man. I like Mason. I wouldn't hate it. But the Pittsburgh Steelers have to have a plan B, and Kenny Pickett isn't good enough to have as your whole plan, man. He's too injury prone. He hasn't shown enough to the franchise to dictate that he can get any better. Or to show that he can get any better. And if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you can't have extreme confidence in a guy that hasn't proven himself over the last 2 seasons. There was some other guys, too, that had made some comments talking about this being the last year of Kenny's deal. No, that's not accurate. This will be his 3rd season upcoming, and he'll have another one after that on his rookie deal with a 5th-year option as a first-round pick. As a first-round pick in the NFL, you get the option for a 5th year. So that comes into play also. The Steelers could possibly have Kenny Pickett for 3 more seasons under that rookie constraint, under that rookie construct of the contract. Yeah, D, this is like my social media now. Was on Twitter for a week, but can't support Elon Musk anymore. He couldn't give every American a lump sum and still be a billionaire. Yeah, I know. I'm not a big fan of Twitter either. It's not one of my favorite things. So, what do you guys think also, before I get off of these centers? I had brought up a guy, Zach Zinter from Michigan. What do you guys think about him? He's had a fib break in one of the Michigan games earlier in the season, but it was a clean break. They said that it would heal quickly within 3 months, and he would be able to be available for his rookie season in the NFL. And many projected this guy to actually be listed up there with these top center prospects, that he would be one of those top 4 guys right now. He would be in that conversation if it weren't for the injury. Zach Frazier had a similar injury, a fib injury at WVU, and people were still looking at him as a high draft prospect. But what about maybe getting a guy like Zinter to come in there? Would that be a good option? I don't know if the Pittsburgh Steelers are willing to go out in the free agency market and get a guy. They may be. That may be their plan. Get a veteran and then bring in that rookie. But you don't have to do that. You have guys on the roster that can play back up to the center. James Daniels has been a center in Chicago. You have Nate Herbig, Nick or Nate, one of the two. That one of the Herbig brothers that is a center also, and he's still on the roster, but he could be a cap casualty if they look to save some money for sure. 3 more years, Kev Kenny sounds horribly boring. I can't disagree with you there, Stephen Carpenter. D was talking to Beer Malls. He swore off social media like Facebook, Twitter 7 years ago. It was the best decision. Yeah, dude, you see some of this shit on there, man. Everybody, I understand I do this. Likes are important. You're doing it for clicks to grow the channel. But some of these things on social media, some of the way people parade themselves around, it gets kind of crazy, man. I can't get into Facebook and shit like that. It's just crazy. All right, guys, anything else you guys want to bring up personally, please put it in the comments. Let me know. You can sound off. We'll read your comment. We'll answer it to the best of our ability. Make it a topic of conversation here. Make sure you hit the like button. This is our Monday edition of the live show here on Mike Drop Sports. Sean puts in RIP to Justin Fields to the Steelers rumors. Absolutely. I hope it ends. But like they were saying, some Steelers media guys are still on board with this, and they say Omar Khan is going to meet with Chicago brass. I can't say that he won't meet with them, because honestly, guys, as a general manager in the NFL, you have to do your due diligence on everything. You can leave no stone unturned. You have to do your due diligence everywhere, at every position. It is a year-long job, several hours a day. You got to be really humping, man. You got to be looking at every player. You are like the head scout of the whole place. You got to be evaluating guys every single day, all day. And you can't not inquire about people. So that may be true, you know? I hope we can get TJ. I hope we can get TJ Tampa from Iowa. He's a baller. I'm going to have to look him up, man. I don't know. I have to see. Do you like the 17-game season or go back to 4 preseason games, giving coaches more time to evaluate players? That's a good question, JD. I like the 4 preseason games. I think the season, the ownership and the NFL has become so money hungry. That's why they added that game and took it away from the preseason, because people don't attend preseason games like they do regular season games. And then you look at the theatrics that it caused, how many tiebreakers there were, how many different ways people could get into the playoffs. It created an exciting end of the season. I'll give it that. But like you said, it's hard to evaluate these guys. And you've seen the Steelers fail in evaluations of several players over the years. Guys that they've drafted, players that they, picked up off the waiver wires, things of that nature. And they've just not been able to be a good gauge on what they're going to be able to do. And it's hard. It's hard business. And you have to see these guys play real football. But you can't put much stock into the preseason games either, because these preseason games don't mean shit, really. Because if you look at the Steelers, how they blew up the league in 4 or 3 preseason games, kicking everyone's ass, scoring on every offensive drive for Kenny Pickett, and then boom, poof, nothing. It really made no sense to me how they made such a complete 180 from the preseason to the regular season under Kenny Pickett and Matt Canada. It was complete, absolute disaster. Completely. No, Fields. I don't think he's coming to the season. Sean was just saying because Atlanta and Vegas have reported to have big interest in Fields. Sean just broke the news live. Yeah. Is it time to find a new head coach? I think so. I think Mike Tomlin has been with the Pittsburgh Steelers for going on 2 decades. Am I saying that he's a horrible coach? No, I'm not. But he's bad situationally. He's not a good player evaluator. At least his track record has shown that. I just think sometimes things grow stale when it's time to move on. And I think Mike Tomlin has reached that spot with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we'll see how this year goes. This is the final year of his deal. We'll see if the Steelers extend another extension to him and try to keep him. But I think he's going to have to start producing and start producing in a big way, especially in the playoffs. The Pittsburgh Steelers aren't used to this steady mediocrity. And there has to be a time where they grow so tired of it that they part ways with the head coach. He's the guy that's ultimately responsible, whether people like that or not. He's the head man, and when you take the job as the leader of anything, you are ultimately responsible for your product, for the product that is put on the field. And Mike Tomlin has to answer to that. And I'm just glad the Steelers are more loyal than other franchises, because changing the coach every year isn't the solution either to winning. But sometimes the Steelers are loyal to a fault, and it shows with Mike Tomlin's employment. And that's just my thoughts. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Mike Tomlin is the best man for the job. Maybe he'll prove that this year. Maybe he'll shut us all up with calling for his head. I don't know. But this year is really going to be a year that I think Mike Tomlin has to get something done, guys. David Wiggins, that preseason to regular season drop-off left me confused also. Yeah, it was crazy. What's up, Wolf Boy? Beer Malls. I like 17-game season. I don't like the TV schedule of these teams basically having a Sunday then Thursday game every year, like too short of a week. Yeah, guys, that is dangerous for these players. This is a high contact sport, these guys are moving at a high velocity. Some of these guys are being clocked running over 20 miles an hour. That collision is tremendous. And you can't expect a guy to play Sunday then play Thursday. Thursday night football is absolute shit. You get shitty games because the preparation sucks. The guys are beat up. Players are playing at like 3/4 speed because they're tore up from Sunday. Yes, it creates a mini bye afterwards sometimes. But I just don't like that Thursday night game. I think they need to get rid of that. Pinky, can I? David Wiggins, yeah, but this leader of our team has never had a losing record. I agree he hasn't had a losing record, but is being okay, just average, okay? That's where you got to start asking the question, when is it just not good enough to be just average? That statistic of not having a losing record, I think, is kind of crummy. The guy doesn't have a playoff win since 2016. He's never won a Super Bowl with a team that he's constructed, and he's never really truly made it really far in the playoffs, but one time with a team that he constructed partially. That's just that's the numbers. That's the record. That's what's on paper. I didn't make those statistics up. That's what he's put out there. And you look at Mike Tomlin situationally, he makes bad decisions in games. He's poor when making personnel decisions in terms of when to pull quarterbacks, when to play quarterbacks. He's bad with picking and choosing when to keep people, when not to keep people. He's just not a great situational coach and a great personnel type coach, in my opinion. He may be a player friendly coach, and that's great. And people want to play for him, and that's cool too. But he's just not performing to the level that you would expect the Pittsburgh Steelers to be performing at. That's just my opinion. Fred Dog 420, until Mike Tomlin is gone, we will never win another Super Bowl. You never know, man. Jaquan Davenport, Russell Wilson, back up Kenny if we don't get Fields. Fields is dog shit. I gotta say it. I can't even say it. If we got Fields, that would be a massive mistake. Just my opinion, Jaquan. David Wiggins, do you think they should move Broderick Jones back to the left side of the O-line? Absolutely, and I think they have plans for that. And I think that that's why many think, including myself, that they will draft a tackle, especially a guy that's proven at the right tackle spot in this year's draft. I think that that will definitely happen because the Pittsburgh Steelers say that Dan Moore Jr. can't play the right side, and they drafted Broderick Jones to be that guy that they build around at the left tackle spot to watch the quarterback's backside, and they plan on every intention to have him at that spot, and I think that that will happen for sure. Let's keep going. Did you hear about the death? No. R.I.P. to Mel Blount. When did this happen, guys? Wow. Thanks, David. I think it's valid. D, OK State has the same problem. They have a coach who always makes a bowl game but never takes the next step. Absolutely. Wow, guys. The death of Mel Blount. I have to look that up, guys. Sorry. Let me see. That is crazy. When did that happen? I know he's getting older, but wow, I'm kind of shocked. Mel Blount, Pittsburgh Steelers legend, guys. A guy that really is what a Steeler is all about, man, for sure. When did he pass away? I don't see it, guys. Tomlin hasn't. I'll keep looking for it. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it here. I'm trying to just see how he passed away. If you guys have the information, let me know. See if it's true. I'll keep looking for it. I didn't know he passed away. I don't know, guys. You have to share that with me. Who is your favorite player? Joe Green. Fields is dog shit, and then some 36 fumbles, 28 interceptions. 38 interceptions, Fred Dog, in 39 games. Yeah, I agree with you. It's even more than that. Rest in paradise, Mel. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter how good we do. We will lose in the playoffs. That's what Mike Tomlin's best at. Yeah, he's not very good inside of the playoffs. Sean, I don't think it's true. I don't see it either. I don't see it either, guys. Can anyone confirm he's not dead? Whoever's saying that's a dumbass. Yeah, I agree. I can't find it anywhere. If it's true, RIP. I just don't think that it is, guys. I've been looking it up, and I haven't found that. I have the computer right here. Steelers, we'll see. And if that was something somebody joked about and just made up, you're a piece of shit. So just to let you know, you don't do that shit, man. Whoever said that, don't do that, guys. I'm not down for that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere, guys. I don't think it's true. He's 75 and he's fine. Thanks, Fred. Yeah, whoever said that, come on, bro. Don't do that. Abe, we're not talking about anything particular there. We were just confirming something somebody made up. And that was kind of actually pretty stupid. Alexander, who's your favorite player? Joe Green, bro. DeCarlo Smith, why not put D. Wash at right tackle? It's a hard transition in my eyes. I don't think that you go from tight end to tackle. He's never played tackle. I just think it's a tough ask. I mean, if he wants to and he tries, maybe that could be a thing. You know, he's big enough. He has the size, you know. Oh, thank you, Fuzzy. Fred Dog 420, he's not dead. Thank you, Fred. Appreciate that. Nice, George Pickens. George Pickens is a beast for sure. Yeah, guys, don't. I will ask this. Please don't ever do that. Make up like somebody died or something like that. Don't do that kind of stuff, man. That's over the top. It ain't funny. It's just stupid. People have families. You don't know who's watching this shit. You know, somebody that can be related to that dude. You don't never know. You don't never know who's watching in today's world of social media. They could be watching and you say something like that, and it could be absolutely heartbreaking for somebody. You don't never mess with that kind of stuff. That is off limits here at Mike Drop Sports, man. We don't do that kind of stuff. We always try to respect everybody here too. Please, no arguing in the chat, no like bashing each other, talking shit. Just you can have conversation without being nasty. That's all. I just try to keep it friendly. I want everybody to have a good time when they come, and I don't want it to be like a chore to come and watch, you know. Hey, what's up, Stylish? Let's keep on going. Kenny Pickett, Abe Anderson. Kenny Pickett is a great QB, but needs an offensive coach. I don't think he's a great QB, not right now. I don't think he's a great QB when he has 13 touchdowns to 13 interceptions over 25 games. I can't get on board with saying that he's great. He hasn't proven enough inside of an NFL helmet to say that. Could he have potential to succeed farther down the road? Possibly, but I think it's going to be really hard for Kenny Pickett to fix his deficiencies that he currently holds. And he's going to have a real growing type year to be able to get out from underneath the shadow of what he's shown so far. When I say Justin Fields is horrible and dog shit, it's kind of like the same thing. The tape don't lie, for me anyway. And I don't think either one of them are the answer. Big Ben, yeah, Pickett is less than Big Ben for sure. Alexander Castor John, have you went to a Steelers game? Many. I've been actually, the biggest game I've ever been to is an AFC Championship game. Steelers Jets, Heinz Field then in extreme cold temperatures, and it was absolutely wild. Wiz Khalifa performed, so it was pretty damn cool. And the Steelers won, and that's when they lost Super Bowl to Green Bay. Robert Rhodes says Washington tackle could happen. Tackles get paid better than blocking tight ends. You're right. I think if it's something he wants to do, I mean, that's up to him. I'm not sure in the Steelers, but I think it would be a little bit tough. But that, you know, hey, it might work, man, for sure. It might work. Coaches can only do so much. Coaches can only do so much, but they are the guy that's in charge of this whole thing. And when you take a position like that, you are going to be held to the standard. And especially for a guy that stands up there and preaches the standard is the standard, you have to hold yourself accountable too. The standard is the standard, just doesn't apply to everybody else and not yourself. And I agree, coaches can only do so much. Coaches coach, players play. But in today's NFL, to be the coach, you have to be good situationally. You have to know what to do in the high impact moments. And you have to know how to be a player evaluator. And as of right now, it doesn't seem that he's doing very good at either one of those. And just being okay and being average isn't what you, the fan, want. You, the fan, wants a Super Bowl title. You, the fan, wants to see your team be competitive inside of the playoffs. And when that's not happening, it's hard to jump on board and say, yay, hooray, Mike Tomlin, you're doing such a great job. When you're not. You're not doing a great job. Being mediocre and average is not a great job. It's mediocre and average. And I could go find anybody to do mediocre and average. Just my thoughts. I've never heard us complain like this. We've been spoiled for 18 seasons. I don't know if it's complaining more than it's just saying the truth, you know? And how have you been spoiled expecting a winner? A winner's mentality is expecting a winner and not settling for mediocrity and not settling for just being a loser. And if you get in that mind frame as a franchise of just being okay with being okay, oh hey guys, we won. You know, we were in the playoffs 5 years ago, and I don't want to go back because I don't want to be spoiled. I think that that's off base, bro. Just in my opinion. What do you think the Bears will do with the number one pick, Caleb Williams? If yeah, that's probably what they will do. But rumors has it he said he didn't want to play for him. Do you think Pickett would be better off in a more stable organization? I think you don't get much more stable than the Pittsburgh Steelers, to be honest. They're loyal to a fault. As you see, they have the longest tenured head coach in the entire NFL. I don't think that it's unstable. I think they make moves, eventually. They keep people sometimes far too long. Actually, they're probably far too stable at some points. Maybe they need to find a happy medium, if that's even a thing, to be far too stable. Maybe far too predictable. I don't know. But I think they're very stable. Pickett's problem is the red zone. He can drive us there, but we either score a TD by running or a field goal. I've seen him making elite throws. I think he can be the one with the right OC. That was from DeCarlo Smith. Possibly, maybe. But you can only miss so many wide open guys before, you got to blame the quarterback and not the offensive coordinator. And yes, Matt Canada's system was bad. I will say that for sure, and I will never defend Matt Canada. It was too simplistic, too elementary. The play calling was absolutely atrocious, and I will give Kenny Pickett that and give him the benefit of the doubt with that. And maybe he can succeed with a different offensive coordinator. But man, did he miss a lot of open targets, guys, and his feet are way too happy. Black and yellow, yeah. Sorry, guys, I gotta get down on the chat a little bit. If I missed your comment, let me know. Mason Rudolph was the closest thing we've seen since Ben used to play. Yeah, he was the closest thing to an NFL quarterback that we've seen in quite some time since Ben Roethlisberger has played with the black and yellow, man. Alexander Castor, I have went to the Steelers and Seahawks on New Year's Eve, and they won. Yeah, that's a cool game. That was cool. AJ Lindsay, I agree on Tomlin. I meant in offensive coaching, making Kenny better. I don't know how I feel about that, but Tomlin, I agree. He's not going anywhere. Yeah, maybe in this new OC will be the answer, guys. Maybe it really will be. We'll have to just really see how this plays out, and really, you're going to have to probably just trust the Steelers when they say Kenny Pickett's the guy, because they've basically said that he's the guy. And it's going to be hard for anybody to upset that apple cart when the Steelers have their mind set on something. That's awesome. I'm born and raised in Utah. My dad is from Monongahela, Pennsylvania. Grew up just down the street from Joe Montana. My uncle taught him at Ringgold High School. Yeah, Joe Montana, Ringgold High School. You have Dan Marino, many guys from the Pittsburgh area. I used to live near Monongahela in a place called Brownsville, so it wasn't very far from Monongahela, actually, right down the river. Yeah, so pretty cool. That's cool your dad grew up there. Cool that they taught, your uncle taught him. That's pretty neat too. Steelers are loyal to a fault unless your name is Mason Rudolph. Yeah, true. They really screwed him. And I think a lot had to do with that Garrett incident. I really do now that I heard that interview. Stephen Carpenter, he's the guy that's going to waste prime TJ. Yeah, he's definitely guaranteed for that. Beer Malls, yeah, Fred Dog, Western PA put out some players. Dan Marino also at Pitt, yeah. Big time players coming out of PA. PA used to be the football factory, my friends, for sure. And I think it still does produce some good quality players. There's several players in the NFL right now that come from the Pittsburgh area, come from, Western Pennsylvania. All right, guys, let's keep it moving with the show. Anything you guys want to talk about, put in the chat. Comments, questions, concerns. Make sure you go up and hit that like button. We're also trying to hit that subscriber mark tonight of 2,000 subscribers. I'm going to go and check it, actually. We'll see how far we are, but sometimes it won't tell me. Sometimes it won't update. So we've hit 9.5K, so we are on the move, but we need to hit up there to the 2,000 mark for sure, guys. We needed like 59. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if we can get that. But hey, we're trying. Mason is older and he just has a little bit more in-game experience than Kenny. I mean, I guess you could say that argument for sure. I guess you could say that. But Kenny is missing wide open guys. He has those happy feet. I don't know what you're going to be able to do to improve Kenny Pickett other than letting him play, and you're just hoping that he does. I still think you have to have a backup plan, even if you're going with Kenny Pickett for 2024. You can't just ride in there with him being your only real option at quarterback. It would be a very grave mistake for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have to have quality backups if you're going to roll Kenny Pickett out there week one. Thomas Warrington, do you think that the Pittsburgh Steelers will win a Super Bowl this year? Probably not. I think they still have some growing to do. I think they have a team in place that they could win in the playoffs if they make a couple adjustments here in this offseason. I think they have the superstar caliber players to get it done. Quarterback's going to be a big question. Center's going to be a question. And inside linebacker. But I think if they make a few moves that are quality moves and make some right decisions, they could be competitors in the playoffs. And you never know whenever you're a competitor in the playoffs. All you need is a spot. You never know what can happen. Let's keep going. There still has yet to be a Super Bowl played without a Big 33 member. Oh, that's cool. Beer Malls. Y'all defensively, does our secondary need address more this offseason or the D-line? I think the secondary has to be a priority, man, in the inside linebacker spot. I think you could get away with another year, Cam Hayward, Keanu Benton, and maybe Mon Adams, something like that. I think maybe Larry Ogunjobi gets let go to save some cap space. But I think you could get away with another year of that. But I think if you added a stud corner opposite of Joey Porter Jr., a guy that can really play early as a rookie or a solid veteran that can come in and play, I think you can make a big statement and a big upgrade there and really be shut down on the edges. I also think if you would add a guy like the Detroit safety that's going to hit free agency and add him with Minka, I think that would be a quality move and really shore up the back end. I think also if you can make some quality moves at inside linebacker, you could really upgrade this defense. So they have some options. Yeah, they don't have to do it all. They could just be average at a couple of those spots, but they have to hit on a couple of those positions, like a corner, like a safety. That's what they got to do. They got to hit on at least one or two of those spots. What do you think about getting Russell? I don't think anything of it, Eagles. I think it sucks. I think it would be a grave mistake, my friend. AJ Lindsay, do they simply just like Kenny because he was drafted 20? Because I feel any late round quarterback would be doing this. Yeah, I think that's why they really like him. I think they over-evaluated him. I put some content out saying my feelings on that. You could go back and watch it. But I think the Steelers grossly over-evaluated Kenny Pickett because they were afraid of another Dan Marino scenario happening on their front door. And they didn't want to be sitting there with their pants down because they didn't draft Dan Marino. They didn't want to be the hometown type team that didn't draft Kenny Pickett, a guy that came from University of Pittsburgh and potentially could be good somewhere else and look stupid with pie on their face. I think that's what they were worried about, how stupid that may sound. I think that was partially the reason they've grossly overestimated him. The guy only had one good year out of five at the University of Pitt. He went from like no touchdowns to a bunch with Jordan Addison as a fifth-year guy. He didn't really do a ton in college either, guys. I had high hopes for Kenny. I want him to succeed, guys. I still want him to succeed. I just don't think that he can get it done. Let's keep going here. D. Mason is more poised, stronger arm, and makes better reads. I think so right now for sure. Steelers don't win jack squat until Mahomes retires. You might be right. Mahomes is a pretty solid guy. Why you think Kenny got worse year two? I see he missed a lot of open passes year two, but I don't remember him doing that rookie year. He seemed more poised. I think he got shook year two. Didn't trust the line. I think that came with his own confidence, DeCarlo. I think that was a Kenny problem more than an offensive line problem because we saw Mason Rudolph come in behind that same offensive line and didn't have that same issue. So I think that was more of an in Kenny's type his head type problem. I think that Kenny missing wide open receivers is a more Kenny problem. Maybe we could blame some of that on Matt Canada, but he definitely didn't improve in the way that you would think he would improve in year two. We'll see how year three goes because they are definitely going to play him. It really seems like all signs point to that, and I wish it weren't true, but we're going to have to hope and get behind him, and we're going to have to root for him. So hopefully he does do better. AJ Lindsay, yes. Fred Dog, we need to get rid of Dan Moore Jr. and get a real offensive tackle to protect his blind side, if not Broderick Jones. It'll be Broderick. I think they're going to figure a way out. If Dan don't go to the right side, I think he's going to become a backup, and the Pittsburgh Steelers could use him as that backup. It's not going to be a huge amount of money. They could probably afford it. So I think they're going to try to go out and get a young tackle in this draft. I really do. Beer Malls, yeah, it always seems our secondary is suspect and gets picked apart. Yeah, and that's a defensive-minded head coach. That's another Mike Tomlin thing. His defense has had many holes. During the Killer Bee era, they wasted that opportunity with a quality offense when the defense got old. So you got to watch that kind of shit too. You don't want the defense to get too old. Skyler, it's the truth with some C's on it. What's up, Skyler? Beer Malls, bad move, Wiggins. I agree. Clutch balls. Playoffs, you're talking playoffs? Yeah, playoffs, no doubt. 24K, I heard today that DeMar Hamlin would like to come back and play for the Steelers. Yeah, you heard that here, I think, 24K. I think I put that in the show earlier. Yeah, he supposedly, I heard it from one of the websites. I can't even remember which one it was, but I seen it as a headline. He was at some signing or something. So he had said that he would like to come back to the Pittsburgh area and play for the Steelers and finish his career in his hometown. So, that's something that he would like to do for sure. I'm not sure it'd be a good pick. He didn't really play a lot last year, but the guy really has some heart. No pun intended, guys. He really went through a traumatic situation, and he really came through it, and we all got to applaud his work ethic and the way that he found a way back to an NFL field after suffering such a horrendous event. It was really crazy, and just well wishes, man. Hopefully he does well. Hopefully he succeeds wherever he goes. Sorry, guys. My voice is rough today. Abe Anderson, Pickett is the greatest Steeler ever. Yeah. Whatever you're smoking, Abe, pass it over here. Dave Wiggins. Presley Harvin III was a great holder for Boswell. They put too much the ball down in that Baltimore game, and that crazy rainstorm was awesome. He was a good holder, but he wasn't a good punter. And, man, I know they're going to mess the dynamic up of snapper, holder, kicker, but you also have Kuntz that's going to be a free agent, so you're going to have to see if they re-sign Kuntz. I think they will, but you're going to have to see how that goes. You may have all different pieces inside of the field goal puzzle, except for Boz. Scholar Cannon, I think Futunga from OSU Beavers is probably number 52. Pick 52? I thought the Steelers have pick 51. I believe they have pick 51. Fred Dog 420. Instead of Dan Marino, we picked Senior Sack, who is the terrible accident and never played one down for us. Wow, Fred. Yeah, I forgot about that. They did pick somebody that absolutely sucked ass. David Wiggins, yeah, he sucked as a punter. Absolutely. He really set the Steelers' defense in bad positions all season long. Pickett for president. Man, Abe, you're on him. Thomas Warrington, do you think that Bell will return? No, I don't, man. I don't think so. We'll see. He might be deserving of a 90-man spot, but I don't think he'll make it back. We'll see how it goes, though. Probably not, though. Robert Rhodes, is Kenny the greatest is the greatest Pickett since Wilson Pickett? David Wiggins, can the Steelers offer Mason? No, they can't until March when free agency opens, guys. Free agency has to open up, and then they can offer him. And I'm not sure there are going to be a ton of teams in the Mason sweepstakes. I think there will be some. That's why I don't think they're going to have to pay him a hefty deal like some think. I think that they could get away with, under 10, at least under 10. I do. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Beer Malls. I went to the Steelers Pro Shop last season and tried to get a Boswell jersey. You have to have a custom make it. They sell an autographed Boswell helmet cheaper than you can get a jersey. I can get you a jersey for $35. Beer Malls. I'll have to share the link. I don't want to promote it because it's not a legit site, but the jerseys are legit. You can actually, there's a place in Pittsburgh too. I can't remember where, but they sell jerseys $35-$40 and they're authentic shit, man. For sure. I don't know where they get them from, but they are definitely good. They're Nike, everything. And they hold up pretty good. Like the ones I have, I wash the shit out of them, and they hold up better than some of the real, true, authentic ones that I paid $200 and some for. My son has one that we paid $200 and some for. That's a TJ Watt jersey that's signed by TJ Watt. We got his signature at training camp. And it's like iron-on numbers. It's not even sewn on numbers. And we paid $200 and some for that. All right, Abe. I'm done with that. 24K Lightning. Oh, yeah, that was you, LOL. We'll see what I do. You probably listen to a lot like me, too, 24K. I get confused on who said what. That's why I'll say, I don't know who said it, but this is what I heard. Laugh my ass, hit me up, bro. I'm down. Yeah, I'll get it, man. I'll put it up somewhere in one of these links. Like I said, I'm going to find a way to communicate with you guys a little bit easier than the comments. Because, guys, if I don't answer your comment on YouTube, do not get pissed at me because I try to answer everybody's comments. But sometimes they get lost in the shuffle and I don't even get alerted to them sometimes. So unless I go back and dig through them, sometimes I'll answer a comment that's been 3 weeks old. And I apologize for that. I really do try to answer them as they come in. But life is life and it gets time consuming. And as the channel grows, it becomes harder and harder. But I try my very, very best to do that. KPA equals Brister reincarnated. Yeah, D's new co-worker. D, one of our watchers here, Skylar. Bubby Brister is going to work with him at his company. Old Bubby. Number 6 for your Pittsburgh Steelers. 6 in your heart, 6 in the charts. He sucks. He was probably the 6th worst quarterback ever for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they've had a couple bad ones. Cordell Stewart, I thought he sucked. Mark Malone sucked. Tom Zach sucked. Tommy Gunn sucked. Tom Maddox, I think he sucked. Who else? Shit, guys. Neil O'Donnell, I thought he sucked. There's several. So, yeah, he's probably 6th or 7th down on that list of worst quarterbacks for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bubby did have a hell of an arm, George. I will say that. Bubby Brister had a freaking cannon on him. Mason Rudolph gives us the best chance to win from Fred Dog. I agree. AJ Lindsay, I sub, bro. I'm from Monongahela. What's up, AJ? Thank you, man. I appreciate you subscribing. I'm not far from you. I used to live in Brownsville, so you know where I'm at. But I live now toward Morgantown, right on the PA line. America, we need a right tackle and a center. Yeah, I think those are priorities. I think you got to find them. Free agency, draft, etc., etc. Pat, Terry Bradshaw, monster. I don't think Terry sucked, but he won 4 Super Bowls. I don't know he's pretty good if you ask me. I think you're saying the same thing. Beer Malls, yeah, we in the offseason, Mike Drop going to go hard during next season. We are for sure, man. We're going to try. Skylar Cannon Maddox was a great backup QB, but not a starter. You're right, Skylar. He was a guy that you could bring in here and there, could get the job done. You know who I thought the best backup was good old reliable Charlie Batch, man. I really liked old Charlie. I thought he could come in, grab you a couple W's. Good guy in the community, really a community leader. Man, I just like Charlie. I really did like Charlie. I gotta say. Old Charlie. He wasn't what he was in Detroit, I'll say that. But, man, he was good. I love Hines, too, man, for sure. I love Hines. Hey, you have a Tommy Maddox starter jersey, David. Man, you drink Turner's iced tea, too, don't you? I'm just messing with you, man. You ever watch that Pittsburgh Dad shit when they were talking about Tommy Gunn starter jersey, your starter jacket, your Turner's iced tea, all the Pittsburgh shit that we all probably grew up with. Batch had no command of the I like Charlie, man. Don't bust on Charlie Scholar. Come on, dude. He was good. The bus, yeah, the bus. I think he's a beast for sure, man. I love the bus. All right, guys, hit that like button, man. Crank them likes up for me. Almost 100 people watching at any given time, and we have 16 likes. That's terrible. David Wiggins, Tommy was the start of Renegade. Was he? I don't know. I thought it was the defense that started Renegade. Not Tommy. Not Tommy Guns. To be honest, I think Charlie really mentored and helped bring Big Ben along unselfishly. Yeah, Charlie is a wily veteran, man. He knew the ins and outs of the NFL, and Ben Roethlisberger probably did lean on Charlie Batch a lot, and I feel like they had a pretty good relationship, you know? He went on Ben's podcast and shit, so they must get along pretty decent. Abe, come on, bro. Come on with your Pickett shit. Robert Rowe, my friend, always called the bus Jerome badass. Yeah, he was a badass, dude. Hey, guys, have you seen that Jerome Bettis' son? I haven't seen him since Jerome was inducted into the Hall of Fame. His son, that was little at the time, is now like a 4 or 5 star wide receiver recruit out of Georgia, and is gonna be a pretty good ball player. He looks like got them wheels like his dad, gets moving, and his ability to punish people while he's running the ball seems to be Jerome like. So look out for Jerome Bettis. I believe Jerome Bettis Jr. is his name. But I had to look at it again. But I know it's his son, and he's in Atlanta, and he's a 4 or 5 star wide receiver recruit. And this kid looks to be on the rise, so keep an eye out on Jerome's son. Ben is way better for sure. David Wiggins, I meant he was the starting QB. Oh, okay, David. Yeah, he was probably. That sounds about right. Skylar Cannon, don't get me wrong, he was a good off-field presence. In definitely Batch and Maddox groomed Ben. Oh, yeah, Tommy Gunn. You know, hey, Tommy. He had that starter jersey on. He untouchable. Didn't they say he was bagging groceries down at Giant Eagle? Isn't that what the Pittsburgh dad dude said? I love that show for some reason. It reminds me so much of people I grew up around, man. Did some of the dumb shit that's on there. It's hilarious. I haven't watched it in a little while. Now that we're talking about it, or that I was talking about it, I'm going to go watch that shit. Check it out. Jim Miller, he sucked too. Yeah, Fred Dog. I remember that. All right, guys, we've been going for a little over an hour, so throw in the comments anything you guys want to talk about. We'll go for a few minutes more, maybe 10, 15 minutes or so. We'll keep on cranking along here. As I said, please hit that subscribe button. Also, more importantly than anything in the entire world, hit that like button for me. And if you want to donate to the shows, there's ways in our channel page that you can go to the links section, and you can find them there if you are so inclined. Also, we're going to keep on growing here, so make sure you check out our daily uploads every day here on Mike Drop Sports. And sometimes we take Saturday and Sunday off, so don't get pissed off at us. Sometimes we need to recharge our batteries. But we are live most days of the week also, so please check us out and come back and keep on watching us here. We greatly appreciate it. But after Maddox, until we got Mason, once Ben went down, it was like hope the run game is good. Yeah, no doubt. Here we go, Steelers, no doubt, Pat. The Pittsburgh Steelers definitely are going to have to lean on that run game this year too, guys, and it's going to be Steelers football. Run the football, control the line of scrimmage, hopefully be good on defense, and have a quarterback that can make timely plays and throw the ball less than 25, 26 times a game. That's where you're looking for a Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback to be throwing when they're trying to be run heavy, play action heavy. You need those big splash plays, and you do hear Tomlin talk about splash plays all the time, and there's a reason he talks about it, because they have to have them. If you don't have those big splash plays, you're not going to win if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not the way that you set things up. You got to have those splash plays, man. No, they didn't plan, David, for life after Ben Roethlisberger, and they allowed Ben Roethlisberger to get so old and so not good. I mean, he was getting rid of the ball so fast. They weren't pushing the ball down the field. It was easy for teams to load up near the line of scrimmage against Ben later in his career because they knew that he was going to get rid of the ball quick. They knew that they were going to run the football, and it was easy for them to load up on the line, opposing defenses. And you saw that a lot against Kenny Pickett. You knew they were going to be run heavy. They loaded up, and sometimes Kenny was able to exploit that late in games, but it wasn't often. We'll see how it goes, guys. I'm not sure about this quarterback situation. I got to continue to ponder this quarterback situation and continue to watch it here on this offseason. I'm going to go to Latrobe a lot this year, too. So I'm going to try to see how Kenny does up there. But again, that's going to be a tough gauge also. TJ needs to get better. Pat, what do you mean TJ needs to get better play? Or do you think more sacks? Man, dude, he led the NFL. How much more? Well, what's my thoughts on the wide receiver room? I think the wide receiver room needs to add a slot receiver. I think Allen Robinson didn't get the job done. I think he saves you $10 million on the cap if you get rid of him, and I think you could spend that elsewhere. I think you could go out and get a guy like a Tyler Boyd, maybe even bigger names than that. A guy that's going to play in the slot in a way that could be exciting, catch some passes. Maybe Allen was okay in the run game at times, but he wasn't that great. He didn't get separation. He didn't get open and move the football like a slot receiver needs to be, like a possession type guy. You just didn't get that from him. Pickett sucks. David Wiggins, I say give Mason the money and give an honest shot. Yeah, I think he deserves an honest shot. But guys, too, you got to remember when we're talking about these wide receivers and Matt Canada's offense, and even late last year, I don't think they did it a ton. You got to make these receivers, especially the top ones, like a George Pickens, like a Deontay Johnson. When we talk about that slot receiver role, you got to slide those guys out from the edges sometimes. You got to bring them into the slot. You got to create different looks. You got to create mismatches, and I hope that that's what Arthur Smith is trying to do, and that's what Matt Canada failed at doing. He didn't get exotic enough to create those mismatches. You want to try to get Deontay Johnson lined up on a linebacker. You want to try to get a safety coming down low, trying to cover George Pickens one-on-one. You're trying to get those unfavorable matchups, and for the defense anyway, favorable for the offense, and you don't see that enough. Slide these guys in. Slide Pickens into the slot. Slide Deontay into the slot. Trips to the one side. Many motions out of those sets. You got to get exotic. You got to create those mismatches, and that's what we have to see with Arthur Smith, and I hope we see it early and often, because you're not going to win ball games if you don't. Think about it for real. Linderbaum and Broderick Jones would be a great line. Yeah, they would. See, Steelers, do you think we could pick up Chris Jones, or would you be... I think it'd be too much money. I think it would be too much money. I'm not sure about Josh Allen from Jacksonville, what kind of salary he would demand. But I think Chris Jones would be way too much money. I don't think the Steelers would be willing to do it. Yeah, he may have said that, David. You're probably right with that. Rudolph is back up. I don't think so. I think he could actually succeed in the right system and given the right opportunity. We've never seen him get a true opportunity. Chaotic Vega, Chris Jones going to cost too much, and J.A. ain't leaving the Ville. Yeah, I think Chris Jones would cost a shit ton. Josh Allen, I don't know. Skylar Cannon, bro. Dude, we'll say almost anything for a like. Who's that? Me, bro? I'll say almost anything for a like. Okay, not really. If that's what you were saying about me. Beer Malls, Justin Jefferson has been solid for a mediocre Vikings team. Oh, DK. Okay, man. I thought you were saying that about me. I'm like, dude, I ain't conforming to nothing for a like, dude. I'd rather somebody not watch me. I'm going to give you exactly what I think is honest. I'm going to give you everything that I see, whether I think it's true or not. I'm going to give it to you so you can make your own decision. I don't know anything more than you guys do. I just watch it a lot, and I have an opinion, and I try to give you my opinion, and what you count that as, cool, you know? I ain't trying to make you like sway one way or another for sure. I'm not ever here to like belittle anybody or anything. I'm not like some swami man that knows all things football. Who's the best receiver this year in the NFL, in my opinion? Oh, shit, man. I don't know. I'm going to say my boy George Pickens. He's not though, but not statistically anyway. But I like the way he poured it on with Mason and really came alive with that 200-yard game, almost 200 yards, 2 tutties against the Bengals. I just like my boy George. I know that that's probably not the answer you were looking for. I always liked Justin Jefferson, but he had some injuries, and there were some other guys that really played really, really well. So I'm not 1,000% who I'd give that title to. I think Rudolph is one of the best 15 to 20 quarterbacks in the league. Yeah, sadly, he's not even listed in the top 20 free agents. Not even in the top 15. I know that for sure, which is crazy to me. I think he definitely is top 15 free agent. Von Miller, old. The Cheetah, maybe. Beer Malls. You might be right, buddy. Why are you letting Skylar talk to you? He wasn't talking to me like that. He was saying about somebody else. Arthur Smith really does a lot for play action. Yes, he does. No, I don't think Justin Fields, Robert, is a good fit. I think he sucks. He's 38 interceptions in a short NFL career, tons of turnovers. Just ain't done enough for me. Jaden DeVegas. T. Hill, in my opinion, David Wiggins. Do you have a paid subscription option? We have to keep the show going. I have ways to donate. You can do super chats. I do have memberships, but that's kind of like in a stale period right now. I'm trying to figure out how to build these emojis. And during the season, I do members only content. Your name will get highlighted, and I'll read your comments first whenever it does pop up. But that's 99 cents a month. But I'm going to try to revamp that and make it something special. So I don't really announce it to anybody anymore. Not for the time being. I'm going to try to build it up here, and by summer, really make it special. We'll see how it goes. But thank you, though, for asking, David. See Steelers. If we look for a running back, the most expensive ones I will see because I look the most top 100 best free agency list right now, and the best of the running backs I saw Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. Yeah, there's a list right now, guys, of where some of these guys will go. I don't think you need a running back. I think you need to just stand pat. But I mean, it wouldn't hurt to ever have another guy. Penix, Wilson, or Nix for the Steelers. Not Fields. Not Wilson. I don't know about Bo Nix. Penix, I'm not sure. I think they need to go with Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph, he's proven economical, and no, the offense likes him. They want to play for him. Nah, bro, you, Arthur, most experience, and DB are really good. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Scholar. The line sucks, so he had to dink and dunk all the time. Yeah, I mean, true. Jackson Mahomes, Mason, come on. MSF, do you think Pickett should be? No, I don't, but I think he's going to be. Mr. Red X, I was chilling and came across your stream. Wasn't going to say anything out. I saw you're a Steelers fan and I had to stop by. Thanks, man. Well, stop by some more. Join the conversation, Red X. Appreciate you. Fred Dog 420, what do you think about TJ getting screwed? Yeah, it's sad, man. I don't know what you have to do to win it. And Myles Garrett's a turd, so he had less sacks than a Herbig brother on the Steelers who played minimal sacks or minimal snaps in the last 7 games. Pittsburgh had Mahomes' dad when he pitched for the Pirates. Oh, I didn't know that, Robert. That's pretty cool. D, Pickett is statistically one of the worst quarterbacks in NFL history. Yeah, and it shows. I mean, people may think he could get better. It wasn't his first year. It was his second year, and this will be his third. And in 25 games played for Kenny Pickett, he has 13 touchdown passes in 25 games. That means he goes games, not just a game, games in a row without throwing touchdown passes. And I'm not sure, as an NFL franchise, that's a good formula for winning nowadays, you know? Rudolph is better. Mason is terrible. I'm not sure about that. D, it's pick. Oh, sorry. All right, come on. See, Steelers, do you think we could probably pick up Brian Burns? We help our right side out with the defense on the defense running. Maybe. I'm not sure. If free agency is going to be interesting. Also, the draft stuff's going to be interesting. So we're going to have to see, man. There's a lot of options out there for the Steelers. I wouldn't say they're in a rebuild, Abe. I don't think the Steelers are in a rebuild, per se, rebuild. I don't think the Steelers are that far away from being a contender. I think the Steelers have some pivotal spots that they need to figure out, but calling it a rebuild, I think, would be a stretch. They have superstars in place. They just need to get this thing right with the quarterback. They need to find a good center and a couple pieces on defense, and I think you're there. And I think having as many picks as they do in the draft, having money available to them during free agency, with Omar Khan at the helm, I think they're going to be able to solidify this roster in a way that does make them contenders. And I don't look for them to miss the playoffs next year. I think they will have a chance to get in the dance. Mason was better than Pickett his first year and still got benched. Yeah, absolutely. Mason's 8-4-1, guys. People to sit there and say that Mason Rudolph sucks. He's 8-4-1, got his head smashed in and concussion, knocked out cold. There's memes with him with his face mask off, walking off the field all gimped up, getting crushed like that. Myles Garrett slammed the helmet into his face, lied about him, probably contributing to him getting benched, probably really derailed the guy's career. He's been nothing but a solid teammate. He's came in when needed and performed excellent. He was the highest rated quarterback statistically in his final 4 games of the 2023 season. I don't think calling him a shitty quarterback is in the cards, man. I think it's off base. It's just my opinion. The numbers don't show it. The players don't think it. The players around him, they want him to be the quarterback. You're not hearing them come out and adamantly fight for Kenny Pickett. Maybe a couple are saying that he deserves a chance. I don't know. But I think that Mason Rudolph is a viable option. I'm not saying he's the answer or God's gift to quarterbacking, but I'm saying he's a viable option. If anyone can make it to a game next year, we should do a parking lot like meetup. Yeah, that'd be fun, dude. I've often thought of that and often talked about it with a couple people. We're definitely going to do it. One day this channel is going to get big enough. We're going to make a big monster we're going to find a big parking lot and we're going to have a monster party. Maybe we can find somebody that's a subscriber that's like a DJ and shit where we can have like a DJ. Hey, man, this type of shit, social media is good for one thing. You can make a lot of contacts and maybe if the channel gets big enough one day, we can do that. That'd be super sick. Guys, there's almost 100 people. Hit the shit out of that like button for me. Sorry, guys, I got to go down to the bottom. It scrolled away on me. Kenny Pickett is better than Justin Fields, but at least, yeah, I think he's better because he don't turn the ball over. I wouldn't take Justin Fields for anything, for nothing. I am home alone right now. See Steelers. Good for you, man. Did Carlos Smith, Mason proved himself against the Lions game? He could be the next man up. He led us to score, but our receiver. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Freiermuth fumbled that game away there. Mason had a couple runs where he was going crazy. He was making that comeback. I believe it was shitty weather even, and I think he could have won that. Mason wasn't a complete quarterback at that time, but he was getting the job done, and shit just got derailed for him, man. And his career took a drastic turn. Mike dropped tailgate. Amen. We're going to do that. Robert Rowe, that concussion Mason suffered in Baltimore was very scary. He had played quite well before that. I'll admit I was wrong about Mason. I was wrong about him too because I often thought of him. I often said this about Mason Rudolph. I was like, guys, he's a third string quarterback for a reason. There's a reason Mason is third string. But when I saw him come in and play, I have to give credit where credit is due. And the man did well. He had great pocket presence. You just don't find any shitty scrub off the street to stand in the pocket with big 300-pound dudes in your damn face and deliver a ball like he delivered in Seattle with guys in his face, man, touching him in his face. Deliver a ball like he did to George Pickens with that type of accuracy if you're just some shitty scrub. You just don't. Steelers record prediction, far too early. I'll say that they get one more game than they did last year. The Bills paid the refs. I don't think that happens. Fields is coachable. Go back in. Actually, what? I don't think so, man. Sorry. I think Fields is a scrub. He has 38 interceptions over his short NFL career. I'm not in for a guy that does that. He fumbles so often. He runs first, and you can't name one run-first quarterback that has won a championship, and I'm not on board with that. I want a guy that can pass from the pocket and Fields hasn't proven that he has that ability. Maybe he has a strong arm, but I've seen lots of strong arm guys suck in the NFL. So I'm just saying, I just don't think Fields has put on tape a good enough performance for anyone to consider going and giving any type of high draft capital for him. It's just my opinion, and I think it could prove to be a grave mistake. Now, if the Pittsburgh Steelers get him, and he does well, I'll support him because he's a Steeler. But I still won't be on board with the pickup. I won't be on board with the transaction. I think it could have a way more negative effect on the Pittsburgh Steelers than picking him up would be positive. I don't think it would be. All right, D. The most important attribute of any quarterback is the ability to read defense. Kenny had the lowest test scores of any quarterback. Fields is about the same. Fields was passed on for a reason by many teams, guys. Kenny Pickett didn't get picked to number 20 for reasons, guys. Let's just face it. The Steelers didn't have to go up and get him. It is what it is. You'll have to see how it goes. We'll see. I'm going to start wrapping this up, guys. I got to go and do the nightly routine, get everybody fed here. We eat late at my house, though, for some reason. We eat, like, soon as the kids come home from school. And then, like, everybody in the house will be hungry again at, like, 8 o'clock. And we'll go and DoorDash something stupid or Grubhub some dumb shit and eat yet again. So we got an eating problem up in this bitch. Jeff's drug test, Abe. Yeah, he needs drug tested for sure. MSM, you get Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is old, coming off an Achilles. I think he could be a quality play-action type passer. He's probably one of the best in the game at it. But you're not going to pay a Kirk Cousins type salary. You're just not. They don't have that kind of money. If you want to be real players in free agency and secure some of the holes that you have, which are, quite a few, you're going to need to be players in free agency. You're going to need money. And if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, paying an inflated quarterback salary isn't in the cards right now. You have Kenny Pickett on that rookie deal. You're looking to add a free agent quarterback for under probably $10 million a year. That's probably where you're trying to be, guys. That's the reality of it. And if they end up paying a guy like Mason maybe a little bit more, so be it. But if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you can't go out and burn up all your salary cap on Kirk Cousins. Because here's the thing, too. You need to be able to sign rookies. You need to be able to have a little bit of money in case you have an injury throughout the season to bring in a guy. Because you don't want to be one of these teams to where you're getting buried in contract money, dead money, future money. You can't be one of those teams, and the Steelers aren't typically that team. So let's just be thankful that they don't do that and not in cap hell all the time like some of these other franchises. Good night, Abe. We'll see you, buddy. Keep hitting that ganja. Mason is probably Jimmy G, but really I think he is probably a Bulger. I don't know about that. Jay, should we trade Deontay and sign Jalen Johnson? I don't know about trading Deontay either. Maybe it's a wise move to get something while you still can. All right, guys, I got to wrap this up. We've been going 81 minutes. I appreciate you guys so very much. Again, I was just messing with you, Abe. Don't get crazy. I was messing with you like you were messing with me in the chat. Who do you think the Steelers should pick up from the draft? I think they should get a center, a tackle, a corner, and a wide receiver. That's what I think. Whoever those best of players available are, cool with it. Oh, I thought you were a Fields guy, Scholar. I thought you said he was better. That's all. See you, D. All right, guys, I got to go. This is Mike Drop Sports. I'm Jason. Look out for tomorrow, our daily upload. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button on this. If you want to donate to our channel, there are ways in the bio that you can donate to us and help us grow as a channel. But help us grow by hitting that like button every day. That's probably the most important. And as always, I thank you guys so much for coming by. And live streams have been awesome. And thank you guys so very much. And until next time, peace, guys.